Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Hi, welcome to Vitamin Junkeys. I'm Jennifer Lyall.
I'm Dr. JJ.
And we're addicted to good health. And today we have a special guest with us, osteopathic practitioner Laura Disenhouse. Welcome today, Laura.
Thank you.
Laura Disenhouse.
And we're going to be addressing neck pain and how to get rid of a pain in the neck.
Oh, my feelings are hurt. But before we begin, we're going to look at what vitamin I'm taking
Yes,
today.
what's
And,
JJ taking today?
I am taking magnesium, which is actually a mineral. It is not a vitamin. But that is okay. Magnesium I take on a nightly basis, usually for muscle spasms. I tend to get a lot of muscle spasms. I'm just a spasmic, muscularly type of guy. And I take magnesium every night and it feels very good. And people with chronic neck pain usually tend to have a lot of muscle guarding, and this magnesium really helps for that. Back pain and neck pain. Cheers.
Very good. So, Laura, can you tell me, what is it that tends to cause neck pain?
Well, often it's lifestyle factors. So things like the way that people sit in their chairs at work, because most people now sit so many hours during the day. So the kind of chairs that they're sitting in often aren't really great for supporting their low back and their neck. They're
Tall
often...
Tall boyfriends? My
Tall
girlfriend
boyfriends
complains
can
about that all the
actually
time.
really cause a crick in the neck, that's true.
So-
but that's not the most
So
common
short girls
thing.
shouldn't date tall guys?
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
So, getting back to the work issue. So, in addition to sitting a lot, often people are also sitting at their computers. And so, the way that the arms are positioned, the whole thing kind of can often put people in a posture that's really conducive to ending up in pain and, soreness and achiness, especially by the end of the day. Other things are just poor posture in general, right? A lot of people don't really keep their core or their abdominal muscles tight. They don't do a lot of exercise to really promote some good stability down in their low back. Mm-hmm. And so as a result, they start slouching, and as soon as you start slouching, your neck starts to go, and the longer you go around like that, over time, things get tight, things get sore and achy. And sometimes even how people sleep, right? If you have a poorly supporting mattress with a pillow that doesn't really fit your neck, or you sleep on your stomach, which I don't recommend to anybody to sleep on their stomach, those things also tend to put people in positions that end up causing some neck discomfort.
So what are some of the things that you can do to relieve neck pain?
Well, just common sense things like, of course, at work, getting a chair that is the right height for you in terms of where your knees are bent, where your legs sit. Having some low back support, because again, as soon as your low back is supported, we're supposed to have a little bit of an arch. It tends to induce us to sort of sit more upright. Making sure that the table height and our monitor height, if you're in front of a computer, is in the right place, so you're not looking up too high or looking down, and having your arms supported so your shoulders aren't hunched up. All those things, everything just to sort of promote as much of an optimal, normal spinal position in sitting. And using that in your car if you travel a lot for work, and working on some low back muscle strength, some abdominal core strength to keep your posture in a better position, keep your shoulders down. And relaxation, right? Stress is a big issue in people's lives, right? Mm-hmm. So for whatever reason, it's in our culture, it's so common that as soon as our lives get more stressed, which I think is pretty much universal, we start to go like this, right? These upper trapezius muscles start to get tighter and like solid rocks. And so I really encourage people to try to incorporate some sort of deep breathing or relaxation into their lives, even if they're not the type that's going to go do yoga or do some sort of meditation, to just stop every day for 1 minute and just time it. I get them to put on a timer. They sit, they deep breathe for a minute, just anything to encourage some relaxation for reducing stress.
Great. Now, we are going to also see some osteopathic procedures in action.
That's right. So
Excellent.
once people have a problem, then we want to get on the body and really start to work with that. So we're going to demonstrate on we have a volunteer, Mitch
We have a
Starkman.
volunteer, yes.
Yeah.
Great. So let's see the demonstration.
Bring in the volunteer.
All right, so I'm just going to show a few simple techniques that I often do on people who have neck pain, just to sort of relax the joints and the muscles a little bit. So something generally that we do, it's called actually general osteopathic technique, is we just get under the neck at each level and we sort of work our way up with sort of a gentle oscillation just to relax in between each of the vertebrae that make up the neck. Okay, so that's just a way to start to get some relaxation into the tissues. Sometimes we also do a little traction, right? So just holding under the back of the head and trying to get some stretching in those muscles. as much as possible. Sometimes even trying to get all the way down the spine. You can try to actually subtly get all the way down from the neck to the low back. And then something else that happens with people with neck pain commonly is that there's often tension from inside the chest. The sac that holds our heart, called the pericardium, the heart is here on the chest. And there are ligaments that go from that sac to keep it in position. Some of them attach on the chest bone in the front. Some of them attach underneath in the back, right up into the neck. And so one way to get those ligaments to release the neck is you'll put a hand just on the region where the pericardium and the heart sort of lie in the chest, and you support the head. And you're actually just doing a gentle stretch. And believe it or not, working on these ligaments that support this heart sac or pericardium is a great way to start to relieve some of the tension that people feel in their neck. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting a hand here and distracting or pulling his neck a little bit to get at those ligaments and get some release. Okay, so those are just some simple osteopathic techniques that we work on in the neck. We also do sometimes do some what we call low level manipulations or low amplitude. We don't do quick manipulations the way that chiropractors tend to do. We have a different version of manipulating, but we will get in there and work on the joints specifically if they need to be released. Okay.
Thank you very much, Laura. That was quite impressive neck osteopathic manipulation.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure, as usual, to have you on the show.
Thank you.
For all of you at home, this is Laura Disenhouse. You'll find her on our list of practitioners at www.vitaminjunkeys.com. And while you're there, please join the addiction and sign up for our weekly newsletter, where you'll receive our weekly podcast, which is not a newsletter, it's a podcast.
While you're on the website, please take a look at the show notes and you'll see a link for taking our survey, because we want to get to know you, what your interests are, and what you want to learn about. And we'll use that input to help us plan future episodes. Plus, everyone from North America that takes the survey will be entered into a draw for a fantastic $100 prize pack from Hey Jude. So please share with us all the details about you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jennifer Lyall.
I'm Nacho JJ, Laura Disenhouse.
Thank you.
And let's continue the addiction to good health.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.